A very, very warm welcome and a very good evening, everybody out there. What a pleasure to be welcoming you all to the second edition of the FIAKS Leadership Conclave, powered by FIS, co-sponsored by RuPay, SBM Bank, SoftCell, PayPoint, and supported by FSS. This evening has to be started in one of the most appropriate manners, and that can only be with the Ganesh Vandana.
गुरुविक्रमाय गुह्य प्रवराय गुरवे गुणगुरवे गुरुदैत्य दल क्षेत्रे गुरु सर्व सदाराध्याय गुरुपुत्र परित्रात्रे गुरु पाखंड खंडकाय.
What exactly is the secret of the leadership conclave of FIAKS is what you ask? Well, let's get that answer from the family themselves. The co-founders of FIAKS, Mrs. Anuradha Panditrao and Mr. Vikas Panditrao. Well, before they begin, I know and I'm sure that you all know a lot about them. But let me give you all a slightly unknown fact about them. Very interesting. Well, we've all heard about the great Shivaji Maharaj, haven't we? In his empire, he had set up the Ashtapradhan, which was a council of 8 members who administered the Maratha Empire. If you go to their Wikipedia page also, you will find that alongside the famous Peshwas, the Panditraos were also one of those 8 whose role was in fact also to promote learning. Well, so I think it's great and it's amazing to know that sir and ma'am and the entire family is absolutely in sync with their amazing lineage. And I really, really hope, sir and ma'am, that you continue to spread this beautiful light of knowledge and learning throughout your lives. Over to you, sir and ma'am. Let's go for it.
Welcome all to the second edition of FIAKS Leadership Conclave FLC 2020. Since June, we have been waiting for a lockdown to open, and finally we decided to do this entire event online. Journey that started 6 years back when we formed the first set of communities, and we took a formal shape 2017. I still remember that time. One of the top thought leaders told me that for any venture to succeed, it needs to qualify on 2 fronts. And he gave a very simple formula. He said, do that business with a complete focus for 1,000 days and ensure that whatever business you're doing, it's solving the problem. Today, we find it so true. It's not that we didn't get some negative feedback. We did get some shocks too. One of the well-known, well-respected senior leader said, it's a group on the messaging app. On my phone, I have so many friends group, college group, society group. I don't see any value in your proposition. Please don't risk your career. That day, I was very disappointed and I was very confused as to what should I do. And I was talking with Anuradha on my return back to home. And that's the time she said, please come back, we will talk. When I reached home, she said, you take a shower, I will prepare a turmeric latte for you. I went and came back and I saw a doodh haldi being kept on the table. And we both looked at each other and had a good laugh. That diffused the stress a little. And then quietly on the table, she placed a newspaper and a roll of toilet paper next to each other. She said, what are you seeing? Both are papers, right? So look at the work we are doing and not the medium that we are using. We can tomorrow easily raise money and build our own messaging app. We can write easily the business requirement document. Now, why not let's list down how our community is benefiting from this social impact initiative, because that will establish the value proposition of our venture. And we realized, when we were listing down, we realized that people were not clearing their chat history because they wanted to keep all these important messages that we are, and that was a great compliment. And it was many people, we checked with many people on that. Second, we saw that many of the people were calling us when they were changing the mobile handset, asking us, how can I transfer the entire chat history of this group into the new handset? We felt good about it. Every day we get loads of compliments on the articles that are shared in the community. So many people, when they are having a business presentations, they ask us about various reports, various articles on. We have seen people asking us that we are getting into the lending business. Can you send us the last 3 months reports on the lending side? Do you have a statistical data? People ask us about the regulatory circulars. Whenever there is a risk at the job level, the first phone call comes to FIAKS. And we have been successful to place many of the people. Some of the banks approached us for an introduction to the community member for the board membership. Even startups have asked us to recommend some advisors who can help them scale up the business. We gave access to international markets. We accelerated partnerships for many of the startups. And as we were listing down, we saw so many value propositions that we are adding. And then Anuradha said, the company, Vikas, the company that you were working for was into money transfer through WhatsApp, right? Very few believed you that time, 5 years back. And today, WhatsApp is already into the payment space. It's happening today. Our venture is ahead of time. Have patience. This interactions actually cleared all my doubts, and there was no looking back after that. When we started the FIAKS, we were not sure about what is our revenue model. And many people used to ask, what is your revenue model? Today, we have successfully established few revenue models. Few of the financial institutions are investing huge monies into the software as a part of their learning and development initiative. What they are missing here is the curated content, and that's the king. For them to be, for these tools to be successful. Just building a library, a huge library with tons of books which are little outdated or maybe not recent one, are not going to help people that much. People want to read. You need to tell people which section of the library they should read. And they need to be given relevant content that will help them to skill. And today, 20 large progressive institutions have given us a mandate for COCXO skilling program. We were advised by some of the top founders in the community, why don't you become an association? You are raising so fundamental issues, which is providing great guidance and consensus in the industry. We realized that informal way of knowledge sharing is more honest, more relevant, and more impactful. People are more free in sharing their concerns. We believe that policy advocacy for a country should not be limited to 8 to 10 people who form in these high-profile committees. Lot of thought leaders and subject matter experts, whom we call as FIAKS Maven on our platform, are present in the industries whose voice needs to be heard. They are today unable to make it to these important committees because either they are too busy, they are not getting an opportunity, or they are just not interested. but they want to participate in the nation building. We decided that FIAKS will create a platform for these intellectuals to voice their views whenever, wherever. We captured all these continuous interactions in the community and collated these wonderful pearls of wisdom being shared through the community and present it to the industry in the form of FIAKS bespoke reports, a culmination of terrific ideas and massive deliberation. Hope you will all agree that successful companies are built because of the lot of hard work of these super talented people in them. We said, why not recognize them and present to the industry these hidden gems? We decided to recognize all these super talented people as FIAKS Maven and decided to do this conclave to identify sharpshooters, ignited minds, FIAKS pathfinders, and FIAKS intellectual explorers and reward them. Now, the uniqueness of the FIAKS award is that it's a year-long contribution to the knowledge sharing initiative, and it's not dependent on the hierarchy. These recognition no one can buy, as it's happening all in front of you. It is not decided whether you have a job or you don't have a job. It's okay if you are retired because your talent is yours. It's not decided by the company that you work for. It is not decided by your bosses, VC or private equity investors in your company. FIAKS is all about you and super talented people like you. Congratulations. I would now request Anuradha to share several new things that we have done in 2020. Thank you.
Welcome all community members and guests to the session. For this knowledge sharing initiative, I realize that building a good team is a key to succeed, and I need to take care of their concerns. During the curation, the team was coming across articles on startup failures and job losses. This was on top of their mind. So my first task was to give confidence to the team. I assured all the members that their salaries will be protected for the next 3 years, irrespective of how the business grows. It was difficult, but we took that decision to set aside this fund. Second thing, we assured our team members that in case we fail, we will ensure that each one will have jobs at their current salary levels. We could do this promise as FIAKS is too small to fail. All this gave a lot of confidence and positivity even during pandemic, and today our critical resources are continuing with us for more than 1 year. In lockdown period, newspapers were not delivered, but FIAKS knowledge content was delivered uninterrupted. We expanded into the insurance sector with 100 plus top CXO professionals joining our community. We all know cooperative banks play an important role in financial inclusion, and we successfully conducted knowledge sharing sessions on treasury and eKYC and AML for 100 plus cooperative bank CEOs and their team. Then we introduced FIAKS Talent Show, as many senior CXO professionals were approaching us for a leadership opening. So we introduced FTS, in which anonymous profiles were shared. The best part is 8 out of 10 got hired. Then we started FIAS International and India Business Opportunities. Under this initiative, we received from several CXOs product requirements and we invited fintechs to participate in these RFPs. We successfully conducted fourth meet in UAE. We achieved a major milestone of 100 plus FIAS Quest. We launched FIAS e-bulletin, and this is another platform which is opportunity for showcasing thought leadership. We got mandate to work with top founders on setting up small finance bank and feasibility study of national umbrella entity. And finally, we added 6 new large organizations as partners. Now, without taking much of your time, I'd like to thank powered by sponsor FIS and our co-sponsor RuPay, SBM Bank India, PayPoint, Softcell Technologies, and our support partner FSS for making this mega event FLC 2020 happen. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir.